Hey, Humankind Historians, this is 4 Extraordinaire, and today we are analyzing the Nigerians along with their culture reveal, and I have a few corrections to make on the devs
Independent
half.
since 1960,
I'll talk
Nigeria
about
has
that
the
a bit later.
peculiarity of bringing together in the same state an immense diversity of peoples and cultures. Moreover, more than 450 languages
Well,
are spoken there,
unread.
which is a record in Africa.
Sorry, I love the accent.
Nigerian agriculture draws its liveliness from the country's different environments. Although it relies mainly on the work of small
Alright, and
farmers,
there's their
it manages to
EQ
ensure the food security of
in the
this
Swahili
demographic
harbor.
giant of more than 200 million inhabitants.
With a significant portion of their population working in agriculture and its importance to Nigerian economy, they will be represented.
Alright, so this is the good stuff. I do not know that much on the MRAP vehicle, but I do have a few corrections to make. For one, I believe Glorious Overabundance has been buffed before the Nigerians have even released. So basically, it's now +2 industry per farmers, and it creates a farmer job, I think, per emblematic district. I'm not sure on how new farmer jobs are created. It may be just a flat +1 new farmer job per city. But I believe that has been updated, so this is a bit stronger. As for the actual effect, I think +2 industry per pop or per farmers isn't necessarily bad. It's always good to have production into the late game to kind of get those more important buildings up. So not necessarily a bad buff. I want to talk about the oil refinery though, because it's not necessarily emblematic of the Nigerians, and Humankind has this really big problem where they have a lot of contemporary emblematic districts that do not reflect the actual culture. So maybe like Japan, okay, they have a robotics factory that's unique enough, but like an oil refinery, they didn't even bother to give it a Nigerian name. And it's just very, very like basic and bland. I feel like they could have at least given us some kind of Nigerian marketplace. And I know contemporary districts are kind of hard to find, but I feel this is really unimaginative. However, I do find that the effect is actually quite creative because you have a new source of creating oil out of thin air. And this doesn't have any previous requirements, I don't believe. So I may have to look at that aside from like being put on the ocean, but that's very, very handy. Maybe even better if it came in the industrial era where oil is king. But still, if you are kind of screwed over and you are behind and you are really lacking on oil, the oil refinery presents an interesting new choice that not many other cultures have. It's like a form of fallback. So let's hear a little bit more about the MRAP, but I do like the oil refinery.
Their legacy trait.
And I do love the suits. Finally, we have a suit that is not just a basic, or an outfit, I should say, that is not just a basic suit or like a Easternized suit for like a majority of the Japanese and Indian leaders. So great to see there's some variety finally. This is not the male suit, so we'll have to see how that goes. But I love the colors and the diversity there. And they'll basically, I guess, give us a little overview of the different units
Since the
and
70s
quarters
and
here.
the dramatic increase in crude prices, oil activity has been the engine of the Nigerian economy. The country
Okay, so it looks
is
like it has
Africa's
to be.
largest oil producer,
Let me look
and
at
its
that real quick.
Nigerian
Was that built on
economy,
top of the
dramatic
source?
increase in crude prices. Oil activity has been the
Okay, I
engine
don't
of the
think it was, so it
Nigerian
just creates a
economy.
source out
The
of thin
country
air.
is now
That is
Africa's
very,
largest
very
oil
unique.
producer, and its exports provide the federal government.
But again, I don't know how
with a
valuable that will be
significant portion of its
compared to
revenues.
if it was in the
This
industrial
exploitation
era.
of coastal oil deposits in the Niger Delta is shown in games through their emblematic quarter, the oil refinery. This district can be built only on river deltas, but will provide you with access to the oil strategic resource, reducing your need to trade for it.
The Nigerian army uses all-terrain armored vehicles capable of withstanding
here we
explosive
go.
attacks. The MRIP
All right, so the MRAP has the suppression trait, so the targeted unit cannot move next turn and has reduced combat strength. Very great for opening a battle and doing some initial damage, and then just laying on them with another few units like an infantry unit and just tearing them apart with that defense drop and the reduced combat strength. So if you can like feasibly stack the suppression bonus, get like 3 hits on someone with 3 separate MRAPs, that could really leave an impact on the battlefield. So we'll have to see how that is in practice. Again, this is kind of the most variable part of the reveal trailer. We can't really get too good of a gauge because the exact stats for suppression aren't really shown. And I don't know if that's a pre-existing trait or not, but it is mobile. It has 8 movement and it has 65 combat strength, so it's not exactly a heavy hitter, but it will act more of as more of a support vehicle and open the enemy's flanks to just battering them with your infantry and whatnot.
Peas.
At
Designed
least
locally,
from what it seems
they
that I
adapt
can
to all
gather.
types of environments and confer protection and projection capacity to the Nigerian forces.
While slightly stronger than the APC, the MRAP requires fewer strategic resources
That's
than
also
its
a very
counterpart.
good thing.
This will allow you to field a strong and mobile force to patrol the territory without relying on foreign resource imports.
The Nigerians are one additional culture for you to shape your own civilization and leave your mark on humankind.
All right. I also want to comment really quickly before I cap out the video. If
just
there
to
isn't a lot of
ensure-
oil on the map or you're playing with
industrial output from-
reduced resources, the Nigerians may become very, very potent, depending on your map settings and the RNG. So if you are very low on oil and you are really desperate for some resource to kind of build up your military and maybe a few of your districts, the oil refinery with the Nigerians may not be a bad pick. However, that also goes for the reverse situation where you have a ton of oil and this kind of becomes useless. So you'll just have to see where the Nigerians really stand with map RNG, and maybe you'll have to tweak around the settings just to see how that kind of factors into things. However, this is the end for the video. I think we covered a few things here. I wanted to just make sure that we got out the devs changes to the Nigerian legacy trait. And also, speaking of maps, I do have a poll running on the community tab, which you can check out by clicking on my channel and seeing basically where you can vote on the next map for the Humankind Let's Play we'll be doing. And you can vote down here by clicking on the community tab. Currently, we are neck and neck. It is 14 votes, so very, very tight race. But you can vote for a random map where I'll just play with the regular settings, or you can play, or we could vote for a custom map where we play with something like an African map and go from there. So we have about 1 day left. So if you guys want to vote in that, please go ahead and make your voices heard. All right, that is it for the rest of the day or the reveal. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I hope to see you guys later. All right, peace.